So why might someone be interested in being coached?
I think people come to coaching because they want to change something about themselves and the way they behave. Might be something that they've wanted to change for a period of time, sometimes even years, or it might be something that someone suggested will be valuable for them to change, either through changing their jobs, getting a promotion, or having a new relationship, either professional or personal.
So they want to change something. How can coaching enable a change to happen?
Well, coaching creates an environment, a very safe and confidential environment, for people to explore themselves and their relationships in ways that is rarely, if ever, possible outside of that coaching relationship.
So the exploration happens. Is this an easy experience for people? Is it difficult? Is it somehow hard?
It can be. There can be moments where everybody has to make a decision. Great definition of coaching is to increase the number and the quality of choices an individual has. So at various moments, people will have to make a choice. Do I want to explore this thing I've just found? Do I really want to change this or not? And it's the empowerment of the individual to make those choices for themselves that is the coaching process. The ability to enable them to become more aware and connected with themselves, and on that basis to become more aware of and connecting with others.
And thinking about your own role here, what do you bring to the coaching experience?
First of all, I bring 10 years of experience of training and personal development across the whole wealth of aspects of coaching. More importantly, I bring all of that within myself. I provide a space and a level of safety and comfort for an individual to really open to themselves. I manage to get myself out of the way most of the time and enable then my ability, my awareness and connection with the client to really help them explore, to define their own purpose and objectives, to connect with that and then begin to develop their own way of doing it.
So what does the coaching look like? Is it like a one-off session, a program? Does it have any kind of structure? Does that always change?
It's variable, of course, but one prefers, certainly I do, to have a number of meetings, 8 to 10 sessions, usually an hour and a half to 2 hours. We always start when we're coaching, or anybody's coaching me, we will start with the self. If you cannot be aware of and connect deeply with yourself, you're not able to do it properly with others. So we will look at and explore purpose, we will explore values, we will explore how I behave in relationship to that. We will look at how I can manage my fear and my tension and anxiety to remain present and access flow. These are trendily called mindfulness and neurophysiology at the moment, but essentially it's just the way I've enabled somebody to be present, to be comfortable and accept themselves, and to flow with that into the moment and into their relationships. On that basis, we will then look at developing the relationships they want to develop with the people around them, and if they're in business, with their teams and with their organizations, on the basis of creating very adult-to-adult professional relationships where there is mutual respect and mutual concern without fear. And then, depending on the individual client's requirements, we can look at how that relates to an organization, to a community, to a company, to a team, or indeed to the world at large.
You mentioned organisation just now. When you're working with a single client who is part of an organisation which is encouraging this process, how do you work with the organisation as well?
Key thing here is to ensure that the contracting at the beginning is settled. So both the individual and the organisation have to be very clear about what each of them expect and what the objectives are. During the process, of course, it's wholly confidential. So I can ask, or the company can ask me how it's going, and my response will be, well, what have you seen? Has my client showed any differences? Are they behaving differently? Are they achieving those objectives you set for them? Of course, the client can say anything they like about me, so I'm totally at their mercy, if you want to think of it like that. But essentially, It will be wholly confidential. If I do say anything about the relationship to the organisation, it will only be with the permission of the client. And both the client and the organisation are aware of that before we begin.
What does an individual person who's thinking about being coached or starting to coach you need to bring to the coaching?
Themselves, a sincere desire to explore and change, and a willingness to go where they've never gone before, to live and discover what they've probably never seen before, and to understand that what we're talking about is their uniqueness, the development and the liberation of their unique humanity, enabling them to live what they believe to be true and to fulfill themselves not only at work or at home, but at both work and home, to live an integrated life which fulfills all levels.
Thank you. And for you, Jefferson, do you enjoy coaching?
Enjoy it? Yes, in the sense that coaching, enabling people to really connect with themselves, to discover their own purpose of why they have the short time we have on this most amazing planet, and to fulfill that, to enable them to do that, is my purpose. And my purpose for me is to fulfill that purpose.